46 migrants were found dead in the back of a trailer in San Antonio on Monday. 12 adults and 4 children were taken to local hospitals with heat-related injuries. San Antonio is a major hub, being about 150 miles from the US-Mexico border. It is a major hub for smuggling of people trying to make their way into the United States. This trailer tractor was found when a city worker at the scene on a remote back road in Southwest San Antonio was alerted to the situation by a cry for help shortly before 6 p.m. Monday. Police Chief William McManus said other officers arrived to find a body on the ground outside the trailer and a partially opened gate to the trailer. The death toll again includes 22 Mexicans, 7 Guatemalans, 2 Hondurans, according to Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard. At least 16 people have been hospitalized, including 4 children. So there were even more people than who, not everyone had passed away. Clearly they were suffering grave injuries. It appears to be heat related. This is among the deadliest tragedies to have claimed thousands of lives of people attempting to cross the US-Mexico border. US border from Mexico in recent decades. 10 migrants died in 2017 after being trapped in a truck that was parked at a Walmart in San Antonio. In 2003, 19 migrants were found in a sweltering truck southeast of San Antonio. So again, San Antonio being one of those main hubs, and this is not the first time, but as Aaron Reichland Melnick says on Twitter, reminds us that 2022 is the deadliest year at the border ever. At least 46 dead in just this one truck, but hundreds have already cited crossing the border so far this year, including children. I think he means died. And with renewed rise in boats from Haiti, mass casualty events will become more common. Of course, the right, specifically the governor of Texas, where San Antonio is located, had the utmost respect for the dead. Greg Abbott writing, at least 42 people dead inside a truck carrying migrants in Texas. These deaths are on Biden. These are a result of his deadly open border policies. They show the deadly consequences of his refusal to enforce the law. They are on Biden, Greg Abbott, but they're also on you and every other extremist right winger, because it's not because of open borders. It's actually because of things like Title 42, which is a provision, emergency provision that says because of the COVID-19 pandemic, no one can seek asylum in the United States. So you cannot say, I fear for my life, I'm being chased by death squads and narcos in my country, I'm applying for asylum. No, you can no longer do that. So I wonder who has blood on their hands. In this case, it's both Biden and people like Greg Abbott. Before I kick it to you, Dan, Congressman Chuy Garcia, this is not lost on him. He says this is horrific. We need to end Title 42 and fix our broken immigration system so these unimaginable tragedies stop happening. People fleeing violence and poverty deserve a chance at a better life. Que descansen en paz. Thoughts on this?
Those were good remarks from that guy. It's such a tragedy to see these things happen, and it's so disgusting to hear people like Greg Abbott. He's very quickly to quote unquote politicize this. For example, if this were a mass shooting, he'd say, "Oh wow, 42 people have died, and I'm tweeting about politics, or I'm tweeting about someone else like 2 hours afterwards. Oh, what about the families? Let's just talk about the families." But no, this is immigration in Texas, so then he can talk about and rapidly politicize it. But Biden's open border immigration policies, not even playing with that. The immigration policies is more or less not changed under the Trump administration. Like you were saying, Biden's timid sort of like trying to take away Title 42 was struck down in the courts. And then Biden didn't really want to fight back anymore because he didn't want to trigger Republicans and, using immigration to add to their already culture war disaster that they're using to rally up their base for the midterm elections that are coming up in just a couple months. Right. So yeah, this all stuff is from Greg Abbott. And Greg Abbott, the kind of guy who said, I'm gonna start busing immigrants to Washington, D.C. to make a point. he doesn't care about human life. He doesn't care about the reason these people are coming from countries and seeking refuge. This is no longer an American internal immigration crisis. This is a crisis of 50 years of failed neoliberal policies in Latin and South America that are coming home to roost right now. These are bigger issues that people like Greg Abbott, people like Joe Biden even don't want to address.
I think that's a really good point, and thank you for reminding us that there was an attempt to overturn Title 42, but then once the courts blocked it, they just was like, okay, that's fine, no, that's good. Meanwhile, this is like continues to be one of the most deadly years for migrants crossing the US-Mexico border. And the other thing that I'm reminded of is the ways that, DHS operates under the federal government. And yet ICE, which operates under DHS, is effectively a runaway, like extremist organization that operates on its own terms. But if you had a president, if you had a federal government that wielded any more control, I would like to see that institution de-radicalized so that these kinds of incidents stop happening. Because it is incredibly devastating. And we do think of the families.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.